Petal 6, Beloved. My story interrupted. What do you do when you think you have arrived and found true love, finally, only to be blindsided again? My stepmonster not only introduced me to the world of asking for what you want, but the song, I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner. The song quickly became the anthem of my life, which I have downloaded in every possible version by every possible artist over the years. In fact, when Krishna Das released his version in 2014, I decided to make it my wedding song. I should say we, my beloved, and I decided. Yes, I met someone, my true love. It has been a beautiful and amazing journey filled with so much love and healing and growth. When you ask God or the universe to heal you, he or she will bring you just the right partner to do that with, because there's only so much healing you could do by yourself, I have learned again. I didn't see this one coming. Of course, we never do. All of my intuitive friends told me this was a soulmate, a monumental relationship, true love, that we had been together for many lifetimes and we chose to be together now in this lifetime, that he was someone who wanted to journey with me and create a life with me, and that it was rare to find a partner with the same intention and vision. Not only did we fall in love, we had confirmation from Spirit that this was truly a binding relationship of the light. That was the icing on the cake for me. Looking back, I made the assumption that since we were destined to be together now, it would last. I was convinced he was the one. I started my journey writing this book while we were together, and I planned on spending the rest of my life with him, as I thought he was planning on the same. He was committed to me and to us, at least that's what he said. I just began to let my guard down and let love enter. It takes me a while to open my heart to someone. No surprise there with everything I've been through. As I'm sitting here writing my book about how I healed my abandonment issue, how I found my happy ending with my beloved, which I read to him with tears streaming down his face, he leaves me. I can't believe this is really happening. It is so ironic I have to laugh, but I'm not. I'm crushed and I'm crying. I'm getting strong messages from my angels to write, to journal what I'm going through, that this is happening for a reason. I trust in God and my intuition, so I continue to write, but in the present tense as I am experiencing what I'm going through. I thought I was healed of my abandonment issue, but I guess not. How many effing times do I have to go through this pain? I don't know if my heart can take this anymore. We've been through so much in this last year and a half. We have had many ups and downs, mostly ups from my perspective. We have grown so much. I have become a part of his family, staying at his house more than my apartment, gradually moving my stuff in. I even have a key to his house. I've grown close to his children and his mother and have grown to love them. I feel like I'm part of his family and belong somewhere again. We started making plans for our future together, opened a joint bank account, and visited Florida, his idea, to check out if it would be someplace we'd be interested in living after his kids went to college. I really thought this was it for me, security at last. I have let go of so many of my fears and insecurities. He knows that as well. We used to joke with each other by saying, we are on the fast track to enlightenment with our relationship, or a relationship on steroids, or here we grow again. But I guess it's not enough for him. I'm still allowing negativity into our relationship. I am still poisoning our love. I know his saying to me that he doesn't have time for a relationship is an excuse. I think he's just trying to spare my feelings. What he really wants to say is that he doesn't have time to put up with my selfish, angry, demanding attitude, and that instead of bringing peace and harmony into our relationship, I am bringing stress and anxiety. Not a fun way to live. I realized after I got quiet and went into my inner sanctuary, I was not practicing what I was preaching. I said I wanted a love that was unconditional, healthy, and free. My beloved showed that to me, and I did not give that back to him. I wanted to, but I guess there was a part of me that still wasn't able. I still had walls. This is not the person I want to be. This is not the woman I want to be to my beloved. This person is an imposter. This is the little me, the scared and lonely little girl that grew up with a scarcity of love that only knows one thing. All the people in your life will leave you. You are disposable. No one wants you. I am done with this paradigm. Time for an upgrade for good. While it's super easy to go into fear and panic, I know I must stay focused on what I truly desire to create in my life. This is my battle now. I oscillate between thoughts of us not being together and thoughts of a happy ending. I try to stay in gratitude for it all. I know that I'm a creative being, and every positive or negative thought I have is creating my future, paving my way. I must stay positive. I need to be the one who stays awake. I know my beloved is in his head right now. Analysis paralysis. I am trusting and praying every day that he shifts into his heart. Day 1, Monday, May 18th. My beloved stops by on his lunch hour from work and tells me he wants to be alone and that he doesn't have time for a relationship. He says I'm too demanding. I want what I want and there's no compromise. I can't really argue with him. I know there's some truth to his perspective, although it's not entirely right. I may initially throw up a wall, but inside I'm a softie. He still doesn't realize that after a year and a half together, he's not strong enough to stand up for himself and say what he feels with me still. I pushed him away. I don't know why, but I did. I told him 5 days ago that he is not really committed to us and doesn't want to be in a relationship with me. He replied that maybe I was right and needed time to think about it. I was sure he was going to come back with, I love you and want to be with you, not I want to be alone. But this is really happening. Now he's saying he wants to continue on his journey without me. I know deep in his heart this is not what he wants. I know he's in his head. He loves me. I can see it in his eyes. After he tells me he doesn't have time for a relationship, he says, I just want to sit here and stare at you. You are so beautiful. I am torn. I feel his love. I see his love in his eyes, yet his words and behavior are doing something else. I'm sitting next to him as he is telling me this, and all I feel for him is love. This is strange. I feel so much love radiating from my heart to his. Does he feel it? I am so calm that I think it's not really me sitting here. Someone has walked into my body and is being calm for me. I begin to say we don't have to spend every weekend together. If you need a break, you need to communicate it. I have no problem with it. He doesn't bite. He already has a foot out the door. I'm only half-heartedly saying this anyway because I have this unusual feeling like this is supposed to be happening. Instead of plummeting down into panic of being abandoned again, I am serene. Something is calling out to me from far away, faint, but I can still sense it. Stay calm, I hear. You know the love you have between the two of you is real and profound. This is happening for a reason. Just breathe. This was at lunchtime. By evening, when my willpower is weak, I start to go into panic mode. I text him, I am sorry, and I miss him every day we are not together, and I love him. He texts me back, I love you, and I love your soul. That brings comfort to my scared heart. I have to go to the supermarket. I literally have no food in my house. I'm dreading it. My beloved loved going to the supermarket with me and always held my hand and kissed me. We used to make it a fun adventure. I see an older couple. He leans over and kisses his wife. I start to lose it. I pray. Angels, if you are here with me, please do not let me start crying now in public. I can't help it. The tears are coming. I hope no one is watching me. I'm picking out sweet potatoes and crying as I have the thought that maybe I will never be shopping with my beloved again. I can't sleep well. I wake up in the middle of the night and realize we are not together anymore. I feel an awful dread creep all over my body and makes its way into my heart. It's the worst feeling. My heart cannot bear this. Please, God, make this dread disappear. Day 2. I wake up and am overwhelmed by sadness. It's 5 a.m. This seems to be the time my angels have been getting me up in the morning now. There is work to be done. I light a candle, I sit, I meditate, I cry. I do distance Reiki healing on our picture. I cry some more. I pray. I send him an email, brief but quoting my favorite book and an author he has come to love and respect as well, trying to jolt him out of his decision. From Marianne Williamson and Enchanted Love. It always blows me away when people say they don't have time for a relationship. And what else is time for? For what other purpose are we living our lives? And can we really be passionate and creative in one area while we suppress our passion and creativity somewhere else? He doesn't bite. I told him I will give him all the time he needs. I am still in denial mode of the whole thing and searching for a way to wake him up, back to our love. I don't get a response. I work on my book on and off all day. I must keep my thoughts focused on the truth of our love. I am the creator of my reality. This is my mantra. I go to yoga class. It helps. Not the class itself, but the reading. I feel like it was for me. It was about loss. I go back to my Yoga Sutras. I find comfort in these teachings. I am the eternal witness. Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 17, Book 2. The cause of that avoidable pain is the union of the seer, Purusha, and the seen, Prakriti, or the nature. Pain is caused by the union of the seer and the seen. Yoga philosophy speaks of two important things. One is the Purusha, the other is the Prakriti. The Purusha is the true self. It is the Purusha who sees. The Prakriti is everything else. The identification with other things is the cause of all our pain. Instead, if we are just ourselves, always, things may change or stay as they are, but they will never cause us pain because the changes will be in the things we possess and not in us. Stay in your true self. You are the knower. You know everything. You are the conscious observer. Nature is here to give you experience and ultimately to liberate you from its bondage. Even if people do not want to be liberated, it educates them gradually so that one day they will come to feel, I'm tired of this whole thing. I don't want it anymore. I've had enough. When will we feel this way? Only after we've gotten enough kicks and burns. The purpose of Prakrit is to give you those knocks. So we should never condemn nature. Nature, according to Patanjali, is matter or anything that changes, including the intellect, mind, body, senses, everything but your Purusha. Nature can also be referred to as the illusion or Maya. This Yoga Sutra, in my opinion, is the most important and most practical one to learn and to take as one's truth because it brings much relief from suffering. I have to keep reminding myself, I am not this pain. I am not this pain. I am not this pain. I am the witness observing the pain. Day 3. I do the same thing in the morning. This time I have a clear picture of the stress I caused my beloved. I see that I was acting selfishly and only thinking about myself. He said he needed downtime on the weekends, and I pushed him to do what I wanted. What's wrong with me? I totally stressed him out. I realized how stressful his job has become and how draining it is, and the weekends are his only downtime, which he wanted to relax and enjoy with me. I was acting like an emotionally unbalanced lunatic. What the heck is my problem? Type A in full force. I feel so bad. I behave so badly. I email him again, this time with my confession, but it's not fully there yet. I'm still not seeing the big picture. I told him I am sorry and please do not give up on our love. I got no response. I need Marianne. I go to a return to love and open it at the most perfect page. Holy shit, Marianne wrote this about me. Page 146, chapter 12. If anger isn't brought up into conscious awareness, it has no place to go. It either turns into an attack on self or an inappropriate unconscious attack on others. She continues, the healing, in fact, was bound to come ultimately from men who would not, because no one can, really tolerate my neediness or the guilt I would try to project onto them in order to get my needs met. By defending myself from being abandoned, I continued to recreate the conditions in which it was bound to occur. Why can't men commit? Men haven't committed because the women have been armored against it. Our armor is our darkness, the dark of the heart, the dark of the pain, the dark of the moment when we make that wicked comment or that unfair request. I know I've read this chapter a million times before, but now it is really speaking to me. I see my dysfunctional behavior, my wicked comments, unfair requests, the guilt and manipulation I was projecting onto him to cover up my neediness and insecurity, the negativity that slowly eroded our love. I brought negativity to our sacred love. Please forgive me, beloved. Give us a second chance. Hysterics and panic are not the way. Inner stillness and calmness is. Here is where I will find my inner peace and guidance. I decide to leave him alone. No texts, no calls, no emails. I'm giving him his space. I go to another yoga class. I dedicate the class to my beloved. Maybe he will feel my love from afar. I am going back and forth between anger and his decision to walk out on me and sadness, between giving up and shutting down to going deeper still and sitting with this pain. Day 4. Every day I do the same thing. Up at 5 a.m. or earlier, light a candle, sit and meditate, or just sit and be. Do long-distance Reiki on our picture, cry my eyes out, pray for our reconciliation, write my story. Today I see the whole picture. I cringe and regret. I was awful to him. Even though I moved through a lot of my fears and insecurities with him, I reverted back. I still gave him a hard time about everything. No wonder he wants to be alone. I can't even stand myself looking back at how I behaved. All he ever did was be unconditional love and support to me. All I ever did was act like an insecure, immature, selfish pain in the butt. Well, not all the time, but enough to send him running the other direction. I am crying in regret. I messed up. I was trying, though. I am trying to be compassionate to myself, but it's hard. I want to beat myself up. How could you mess this one up? I see my errors. I see everything. My anger, my bitterness, my impatience, and even more clearly, I see how patient he was with me, how he tried to love me. I just didn't let him. I see the emotional pain and disturbance I must have caused him. That man really must have loved me to stick it out like that. I don't blame him anymore for leaving me. I chant, I am sorry, so sorry, please forgive me. I feel like I can communicate with him through my thoughts and feelings. I can't give up. I go from anger to compassion toward him. My friend tells me if it doesn't work out with my beloved, he has someone he wants to set me up with. I don't know if he's kidding. In that moment, though, it brings me relief. I guess it's knowing that there still exists the possibility that I won't be alone after all. I thought about it for a split second, then all my spiritual teachings and Marianne Williamson books came rushing back to me at once. That's the ego's trap into making sure you never find real love, because that is the death of the ego. The ego wants you to believe that the grass is greener on the other side. The problem is not you. It's the combination of the two of you that doesn't work. Maybe you just need to move on and find someone new. New sounds alluring, right? New and no drama. But my higher self kicks in and says, if you don't fix this relationship and heal your wounds once and for all, it will follow you to poison the next relationship. This is your opportunity to face your deepest, darkest fears. Besides, this is your beloved, your true love. I do love him.